Okay, so let's watch Benshapiro get owned by a leftist, or own a leftist, I guess. We'll see. He was at FSU, Florida State University.
Hello. I just wanted to ask, so I wanted to bring up the fact that you talked about individuals and everything, and I wanted to bring up a few examples, like, for example, like COVID and, like, say, like the 2008 financial collapse and even like the 1994 crime bill and things like that. Those have definitely effects on big groups, and especially like the black community and everything. Like after the 2008 financial collapse, not many people got, like, I wouldn't say accused, but convicted, for example. Not many people on Wall Street, the individuals who did profit a lot from those things. But
is this dude a Hasanabi fan? He's giving me Hasanabi fan vibes.
Millions of people were kicked out of their homes and everything. And you talk about like things like these being, or America being, based on individuals and individuals wanting to achieve different things. But in reality, a lot of like people are affected by their societal factors, their environment and everything. So I want to get your answer on that, and like how these negative effects, affect the majority of people. But the positives, the money gains, the Wall Street things, not many of the working class people in Tallahassee, for example, feel that. Not many people in Tallahassee felt the after COVID.
Tulahan Bosker, you gotta stop taking credit for everything. Asking a question on whether or not someone who is in fucking college at a Benshapiro conference, on whether or not a person who directly is in the demographic of this chat, asking whether or not that person, I wonder, is in the chat or is a person who is in this community, is not saying, is not all that crazy. I'm not taking credit for it. Okay. He's not white. Yeah, totally. I don't have a single black person in this chat.
COVID, or during COVID, the stock market jumps. The average employer just saw a bunch of just empty, employment, options and low wages and everything still, and the same old. So,
well, okay, so I think that the fundamental idea with regard to, it's almost two separate questions, and so I'm going to take them one at a time. The reason I'm separating the questions is because when it comes to corporate bailouts, for example, I'm sure you and I agree. I don't think that any of those corporations should have been bailed out. I think that if you engage in the moral hazard of wrecking your own company, I don't see why I'm supposed to pay for that or you're supposed to pay for that. In a free market system, you're supposed to bear the consequences of the risks that you take. I think that's true across the board. And I think that whether you're a big rich guy on Wall Street and you lose your entire company, or whether you're a guy who took out a loan that you couldn't afford on your house, if you take out too much, that is, as I am constantly ripped for saying, a you problem. If you take a risk and then you bear the consequence of that risk, that's no one's fault but your own. And anybody who comes in to bail you out from that, particularly...
This is bullshit. Like, him saying, like, it's a moral hazard when the rich do it, it's a moral hazard when the poor do it, is bullshit, because the system still, no matter what, will completely avoid the moral hazard argument as it pertains to the wealthy. Okay? And he's addressing that. Like, the question that this person asked straight up already mentioned the part that Ben is talking about. So why are you going back to the moral hazard of like, oh, well, I don't want the wealthy to get bailouts either? Like, it doesn't matter, because they did.
If you're talking about with like billions of dollars in order to prop up a particular lifestyle, that's a huge mistake, and it's a huge problem, and I totally agree with that.
And for example, with that, like, we in America, we do bail these people out. Our capitalist system does not.
That's not capitalism. That's cronyism.
It definitely, yeah. People say that, but
no, but it's true.
It's
no, but it's actually,
we do bail these people out. And
right. I'm just saying that that's not capitalism. That's actually closer to corporatism, which is the government being in control of the economy, essentially. I mean, who's bailing them out? Are they bailing them out? The government is bailing them out.
Yeah, definitely the government. And for example, we don't get these similar bailouts for regular people. Like, for example, Joe Biden was, promoting just $2,000. We're fighting for scraps. I want to understand, like, where does that come from? Like, why are we so, willing to give? Well,
real capitalism has never been tried, which is why which is why all of Ben's favorite fucking legislators, okay, all of Ben's favorite presidents, like, you think Ben doesn't like Ronald Reagan? Ben loves Ronald Reagan, right? Ben loves neoliberal Ronald Reagan. So what's up? Why did more cronyism happen in the aftermath of Ronald Reagan's deregulation? It almost feels like the natural inclination of, commodity producers under a capitalist organization of the economy is to monopolize their sector. And that's precisely what every single one is doing. And if you eradicate any sort of regulatory mechanism that the government has in the same way that Ronald Reagan did and Bill Clinton and every other president after him, then all of a sudden you have more monopolies. And that is precisely what capitalism is doing. Letting companies operate in any which way they can. Ben is not even a fucking minarchist. The idea that like he is a libertarian or an Austrian, someone who is like a Hayekian or something, like a fucking Austrian economist, is silly. It's stupid. Okay, he absolutely is not any of those fucking things. He's just a regular ass conservative. Okay. So, and all of his favorite fucking economists or all of his favorite thinkers have successfully been able to not only advocate but also push for deregulation, okay, and less government. And in the aftermath of such deregulation and less government, we've only had more corporatism. More corporatism. It's not the government existing that creates corporatism or cronyism. That's just how capitalism is. The government is supposed to be a regulatory mechanism against that. Okay? That's it.
The United States does spend literally trillions of dollars on social welfare programs. The notion the United States has no social safety net at all is not true. The United States spends per citizen tens of thousands of dollars on social welfare benefits, ranging from Medicaid to food stamps to unemployment insurance to a wide variety of programs. The notion that we're wildly out of line with Europe is just not borne out by the statistics.
It's completely an insane take. A complete insane take to say that the United States social safety nets are even comparable to OECD nations is the most psychotic and the silliest lie that Benshapiro has ever told. One, he's on Florida State University campus right now. Florida State University campus, i.e., okay, he is currently at a state university. That's supposed to be a public university. Every single person there is paying for their education there. Okay? Even on that notion alone. What the fuck just happened? That was crazy. I just like had a big frame drop. Did you guys see that? That was weird. That was very weird. Okay. Okay. Even on that alone, even on that experience alone, you can recognize that we are different than European countries. On top of that, healthcare. There's a gigantic hole in social safety nets in the United States of America in the form of fucking healthcare. Like, it's silly to make this argument that like the United States is anywhere near offering the level of amenities that other governments offer. Very stupid.
Statistical facts, actually. It's kind of an American.
Is it still glitching? By the way, is it still glitching, or what the fuck is the problem? Or are you guys just memeing because you just want to like jump to anything to like meme away? Okay.
Facts, actually. It's kind of an American myth that we tell ourselves that we don't spend any money on this sort of stuff. It's not true. Since the beginning of the war on poverty, we spent something like $22 trillion on various.
See, again, this is a very, very stupid argument. Oh, we've spent some money. Okay. We're one of the largest nations on the planet. Oh, we spent a lot of money. Look at the big number of money that we've spent. Okay. The war on poverty is not a success, by the way. I don't know why the fuck he's saying that. But again, it's like Ben is one so far lied about American social spending in comparison to other OECD nations, which Ben will never openly fucking discuss or compare ourselves to, other than like cherry picking certain data points. Okay. Then he said America spent a lot of money on the war on poverty, which is a demonstrable fucking failure. Okay. And now he's saying, pointing big number. Big number doesn't matter. What are the amenities that American citizens get? We do not have comparable social safety nets. Okay. We just don't. The idea that like the war on poverty has been successful when, a chunk of that is directly funding our prison system, which has been privatized, which is, again, very unique in comparison to other countries as well, is also ridiculous. Okay? Completely ridiculous. Oh, big number, dude. Okay, that makes sense. I guess we're doing all right then.
Social programs, and essentially the same number of people live underneath the poverty line.
Okay, and then a last question. So we have this infrastructure bill going
So it's been a failure because it's not been enough. Got it.
through, and you see people like Joe Manchin, arguing over, what is it, $5 billion in regards to it, or just, just a little price difference, for example. Over the past 20 years, we've been fighting wars in Afghanistan, and we spent trillions and billions of dollars. And you have these politicians saying that these infrastructure bills that will help us on our domestic front, these small price changes are going to have dramatic effects on, our future and our children. And that's why they, the Republican Party, they definitely, go for austerity in those, factors.
So the wars, to take an example, the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan were expensive. They cost grand total.
And he loved it, by the way. I love the wars in Afghanistan. They were great. I'm going to act like I didn't like it at the time, but like I totally loved it. I still think about all those dead babies, and I get a hard on for it. But hey, it's okay. $8 trillion. I can jerk off to it. That's a win-win for me.
Somewhere between $3 and $4 trillion last I checked. The United States spends about $4 trillion in the budget every single year, and we spent about $7 trillion last year. That's every year, right?
Yeah, I just want to know what that means for the future.
Wait, okay, so it's actually totally fine if we're, we spend $22 trillion on the war on poverty over the course of 60 years, which I just mentioned as a bad thing. But over the course of the past 20 years, we spent $6 trillion on the war on terror, which was also a demonstrable failure that killed a bunch of brown people. But that's okay because now we spend $7 trillion a year. Oh, okay. So so if it's you didn't even address the question. You just basically deflected by pointing to how much money we spend in general. So it's fine. It's not about how much money we're spending here or there. It's about why we're spending that money on the war on terror. By the way, the irony, of course, of saying like, well, we're spending $7 trillion a year. Like, how much of that is on defense, you fucking idiot? Like, still on defense. The fuck are you talking about?
Future of our children. If we're willing to spend that much on war, like, what does that mean in regards to, these infrastructure bills, us fighting over these small amounts?
He's literally saying like, I'm totally fine with like spending an infinite, endless amount of money as long as it's being used to kill brown people and brown kids. That's actually a good thing. It's not a good thing if we're spending it over here on like rebuilding our infrastructure.
Well, we're not really fighting over small amounts. These are very large amounts of money. The entire American budget 40 years ago was not nearly as much as one of these infrastructure bills. 20 years ago it wasn't. And you just go back and look at the budgeting. So we're spending unsustainable amounts of money on nearly everything in American life to point out defense spending as opposed to what really constitutes.
I wonder if there's another thing that like, makes things more expensive. It's just like, yeah. But like when it comes to the GDP, he loves talking about the bigger number and how successful America is. You know what I mean? Look at our GDP. Look at our GDP. Like our productivity levels have fucking skyrocketed. That's a great thing. It's like he always playing fast and loose with certain terms because the people he knows don't understand what the fuck he's talking about. The reality is the military currently is a welfare for a large amount of Republicans in America. Take away wars and military spending, and those people don't have income or make anything for the state. I mean, this is true. It is a jobs program. The military is a jobs program. Isn't spending money on domestic infrastructure instead of foreign wars the essence of America first? It is. It's kind of what Trump alluded to when he was running, but then that didn't happen.
It's the vast bulk of our budget, which is everything else. Defense spending as a percentage of the American budget is something like 20%, 25% of the American budget. I think it was even that high. That is not the chief driver of systemic spending problems in the United States.
Dog. The point is, if the defense budget is taking up 25%, okay, of our spending, okay, our entire spending, and all we're doing with that is just fucking endless wars that are one L after L after L. You can't sit there as a libertarian and act like that is a reasonable thing to do. Like all of a sudden, we're penny pinching, right? We're penny pinching, but not when it comes to defense. Always remember. Always remember. Conservatives love talking about the deficit spending and you know deficit hawking, and talk about the budget, and our spending is terrible, right? It's too much. It's too much. We're doing too much spending. Never when it comes to the military. Never. You will never have them admit. Military is 54% of discretionary spending, not 25. No, I think he's using the all-around number. And in the all-around number, it's less than 25%. Of course, social safety nets are more expensive than the fucking amount of money that we spend overall yearly. It's changing, though. The military's trying as much as they can.
United States. It's massive mandatory spending programs. I have to ask you a question. Were you the guy before who I saw a picture of holding the very creative flag? Of,
Yes, it was outside.
Yeah, dude. I got to ask you, like, Lenin and Stalin? Really?
Yeah, definitely Lenin and Stalin. It's just
Lenin and Stalin?
Stalin
really?
definitely due to World War II. You know, I mean,
And we're talking about exploitation of people. I mean, Stalin. Like,
I mean, we
killed...
do a lot of that in America too. I live in Tallahassee. There's a lot of exploitation. I used to work at a lot of places, and there's a lot of poor people.
Were you gulags though?
We have prisons in America too.
Were you one of the like 30
targeted...
million people murdered by Stalin? Like really, if you're
No, this guy definitely is not a Hasanabi head, dude. Totally not.
If you're gonna go Marxist, then please find a better Marxist to emulate than Lenin or Stalin, mass murderers.
Lenin and Stalin, mass murderers, dude. This is why. Okay, the unhinged part of this is like when they say like when they add Lenin onto the equation. Find a better Marxist than Lenin and Stalin. Okay, then who? Like, oh well, actually, technically, when you think about it, Marxism across the board is a mass murdering ideology. So even Karl Marx himself is actually a mass murderer. They always say that. Like it's not just like a serious criticism of like Stalin himself, because he's just like adding Lenin into the equation as well now. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, so you're not a serious person. You're just an unserious person.
The Soviet Union during World War II saved the world. I would say that.
If it had not been for Stalin, World War II never would have started, because it was the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact that allowed the...
That's literally all he's doing. He's lying, dude. What the fuck? That's insane. That is a complete falsehood, dude. That is a complete falsehood.
The Nazi Germans to believe that they could invade Eastern Europe.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's totally what happened. Which part is false? Show me proof. Dude, that's crazy, dude. Dude, Ben is Jewish. And the thing that I can't comprehend, how like someone who's Jewish, someone who's an Orthodox Jew could literally like engage in revisionism exclusively so he can own fucking like some ideology. You know what I mean? He's just like yeah, Hitler actually wasn't all that bad across the board, but you know, until Stalin gave him the confidence. It's literally the same energy as how what do you call it? As Netanyahu, who like hates Palestinians so much that he again engaged in historical revisionism around the Holocaust, when he famously said, Bibi Netanyahu, famously said that the Grand Mufti, who was anti-Semitic, okay, certainly, was the one who told Hitler to kill the Jews. That's insanely fucking anti-Semitic. It's wild when when people who are just like, I'm the best Jew, all the other Jews are bad Jews, blah blah blah, will then turn around and like engage in fucking Holocaust revisionism. Like, what? Yeah, exactly this. Like, him being anti-Semitic and them actually fucking talking to one another is documented. Claiming that Hitler didn't fucking hate the Jews or Hitler wasn't going to kill the Jews until this fucking Grand Mufti got him to, is just straight. Don't ask me, motherfucker. Look at Harrods and numerous other like Jewish thinkers wrote about it at the time. Don't get mad at me. Literally fucking go Google it on your own. You know what I mean? Like, he had already written Minecraft, Mein Kampf at that point, Minecraft. Mein Kampf at that point. So I'm pretty sure he was already blaming the Jews. He said Minecraft. Yeah. Yeah, Hitler was like, oh no, I don't want to do this. Oh, will I do the Holocaust? Nobody knows. Oh no. Oh, this Mufti actually, you're very good. You're very good. You've convinced me. I'm going to do the Holocaust now. Like, that's what happened, right? After this conversation, or oh, thank God. Thank God, the Western world is doing appeasement, and also, the Molotov-Ribbentrop is happening. So I think we can just now we can do this. I learned anti-Semitism from the Grand Mufti, and I also got the confidence from the socialist. Yeah, very good. This is why I'm doing it, not because I want to do it. Yeah. Ja, sehr gut. Would like to know what Ben thinks Germany was doing before Molotov-Ribbentrop. Oh, no, that's just nationalism, yeah, we just want to make America, we just want to make Germany great. Hitler was Austrian. That wouldn't have been his English. Okay, shut up, dude. Okay, I don't like. Yeah, my Hitler German English German is not good. Okay, got it. Thanks. Yeah, harmless German nationalism. Well, dude, yeah, based. Remember, if they kept it to just murdering and putting socialists and communists and trade unionists into the concentration camps, Benshapiro would be like, very based. Hitler was actually doing really good things when he was killing socialists and communists and the Night of the Long Knives, actually very poggers. Very good. That's just making Germany great, actually. Harmless. Candace Owens did say that, by the way. Candace Owens, who has a podcast with Benshapiro, unironically did say that famously, that Hitler was just trying to make Germany great. It was after he turned his interest into outside of Germany, which she considered to be imperialism, not imperialism, globalism. That's when it was bad. Bro, there are people who literally are saying that like Hitler actually did not want another front because he was a World War I veteran. Hitler was a vet from World War. I can't tell if this is like straight up fascist propaganda taking hold, or I don't know. I don't know how to describe this. If that was the case, then appeasement would also be a significant role in this. You know that, right? Like, Hitler was a vet from World War I who wanted to avoid a two-front war like World War I. I hate Shapiro, but what he said on the pact is not wrong. It made Hitler pull the trigger on the war. Um, if only there was a, no, it's actually true. He was a veteran. I am German. Please don't ban me. Wait, I know he was a veteran, you fucking idiots. It's like saying Donald Trump is an isolationist, okay? You guys, what the fuck are you saying? It's literally the same energy as Donald Trump was an isolationist. He's actually a peaceful dove. Did we not just go through the fucking past 4 years of Donald Trump? The fuck are you talking about? The Red Scare worked. We were blaming the Holocaust on communism. Yeah, literally. The first people that he killed were communists. Thank you, Frost Flareon, for the 10 Tier 1 Gifty Boys. The 10 Tier 1 Gifty Boys will allow 10 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. Ad breaks. Now, of course, it's not at the top of the hour right now. It's at the middle of the hour. So why am I saying this right now? Well, that's because I got so invested. Okay? I got so invested in the stream that I forgot to fucking run the 60-second ad break at the top of the hour. Now, 10 people will no longer see those ads because they got received a gift. But you too can no longer see those ads and enjoy an ad-free broadcast experience. All you need to do for that is to subscribe. You can subscribe for $5 or you can subscribe for free with a Twitch Prime. Okay? Hassan's lower part, thank you for gifting 5. Okay? And Mind Surfer, thank you for gifting 10 Gifty Boys. 10 people no longer see as because of Mind Surfer. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Rayleigh Harris, thank you for the 5 gifted subs as well. Wait, what was I gonna say? So, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, for the record, was using the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact as a historical reason as to why Hitler was able to like do World War II is insane for a multitude of different reasons, because of Hitler's anti-socialist and anti-communist position as a fascist. Okay, the USSR was not trusting of Hitler, but the USSR also needed time, okay, to be able to gear up for a potential counter. This pact allowed Stalin to gain that time necessary. Hitler already had ambitions of invasion beyond Germany, okay, and was acting out on these desires. And what predates the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact is appeasement leading up to the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. Appeasement which, from the West, caused Stalin to not be able to fucking go into war immediately. This idea that, and that was, by the way, that was literally the West. Appeasement was done by Western allied forces. Okay? Hitler should have started World War II, but Hitler still would have started World War II, but it would have taken longer, most likely. Beautiful, thank you. Stalin, very good. Trump, bad. I mean, yes, Stalin fucking, yes, fighting against the Nazis was the best thing that he ever did. 100%. I think that that is idiotic. It's like there are many things that we could fucking disagree on, okay, with what Stalin did do after. But yes, that is an objective net good, unless you think that Nazis would be running the planet in a better way. Yes, I'm not sugarcoating it. Stalin and the Red Army defeated, well, also, Stalin and the Red Army was able to throw enough manpower against the elements in Russia, the elements that a fatigued and hungry Nazi, for the hungry Nazi forces would not be able to, go through. And the incredible amount of manpower and incredible amount of fucking human casualty in this war of attrition otherwise was the reason why the Nazis were defeated. Okay, anyway, yeah, I know it's a stock account. USSR had finished a bloody revolution of civil war. White army supported by capitalists to stop the commies. USSR didn't want to do another war and didn't want Hitler invading USSR. Capitalists wanted Hitler to invade USSR. Okay. The irony is only Americans think America won the war. No, that's not true. Actually, there is data for this. Around the world, every single year post World War II, less and less people thought that the USSR was almost single-handedly responsible for the defeat of the Nazis. Back like in 1946, I think it was like 75% of the world agreed that the USSR was not single-handedly, but like was what had bared the burden, the lion's share of the burden in defeating the Nazis. Okay, it was like 75%. Now that number is like 25% or something because of Western propaganda that was incredibly fucking successful. Yeah, Americans literally incredibly successfully through a sequence of Red Scare propaganda and also an endless amount of fucking videos and movies and celebrations were able to make the world believe that America is the reason why the Nazis were defeated. The Western allies defeated the Nazis. Love you watching a 6-minute video and I AFK for like 25 minutes to come back and not miss a thing. Yeah, here it is. The successful 70-year campaign to convince people the USA and not the USSR beat Hitler. Look, 1945, 57% in France. thought that the USSR was the reason for the defeat of the Nazis. Okay, that number now in France in 2004 is 58% thinking America is the reason. 1994, 50%. Now 20% of people think the USSR is the reason, and 58% think it's the fucking the United States of America. Yeah, the Western Allies were perfectly happy to let millions of Soviets die on the Eastern Front while they bided their time. This guy's very, very objective about World War II. Bro, I'm not watching this. Are you kidding me? This is like, this looks crazy. Does Hassan know the mic sounds off? No, I don't. I don't know what to do, by the way. My computer pooped a little bit, so. Okay, I have to pee really bad. And I don't have a good video to fucking leave you guys with. Shit. Here, I'll just play this for now.
Hi, Ben. How are you?
This
Doing
is
okay.
actually
How are
not
you?
an own, though. Benshapiro kind of owns him on this one. But here, I gotta pee. I'll be back in a second.
Great. How come you claim to be 5'9" even though you're like 5'5"?
I don't know. How tall are you? You're 5'9"?
I'm actually 5'9".
Okay, come over here. Let's see. I'll be honest, I planned it. I'm waiting years to do that.
No shot that dude is 5'9". Okay, that's a 5'5" plant. That is a 5'5" plant that they brought in. Okay, I don't believe him. I do not believe him. Don't believe the fucking lies, okay? That dude is a 5'5" plant. No, I didn't poop. I had to pee so bad, though. Fucking bursting from the goddamn seams over here, dude. Holy shit. Okay. Have you ever met Ben? I've been around him. I mean, he is very short, but I don't know how fucking short he is, actually. He's definitely not 5'9", though. Alex Jones subpoenaed by Congress. He's such a cloud goblin. I think he will go. Yeah. Lifts are a thing. I have it on Hood Authority that Ben wears lifts in his shoes. Hood Authority. Okay.